Good day and welcome to this video on dyslexia. Let us today try to understand what dyslexia is all about. There are different types of learning disabilities and they are generally grouped into reading disabilities, writing disabilities, oral language disabilities and arithmetic disabilities. Examples of reading disabilities are dyslexia and alexia. Examples of writing disabilities are dysgraphia, agraphia, revisualization, syntax disorder and spelling problems. Examples of oral language disabilities are dysphasia and aphasia. Examples of mathematical disabilities or arithmetical disabilities are dyscalculia and acalculia. Now let us move on to dyslexia. What is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a learning disorder. It is a reading disability which became popular with the movie, the Hindi movie Tare Zameen Par, which features a little boy Ishan and his art teacher Nikum, the role played by Amir Khan, who helps the little boy who is dyslexic to cope with his reading disability. Dyslexia is a learning disorder that primarily affects the ability to read and subsequently the abilities to spell, write and speak. Children who have dyslexia find it difficult to connect the letters they see to the sounds those letters make. They struggle a lot in school because it takes a longer time for them to read. Trouble processing words make it hard for them also to spell, write and speak clearly. How does a child learn to read? When children learn to read, they first have to figure out the sounds the letters make. For example, the letter A makes the sound A, the letter B makes the sound B, the letter C makes the sound K. Then they have to put together those sounds to form words. For example, K, A, T together makes cat. Finally, they have to figure out what the word means. Here, the word cat means an animal that meows. For children who have dyslexia, it is difficult for them to connect the sounds of the letters to the letters and also to blend together the different sounds to form words. So, to a child who is dyslexic, the word cat might read as tack. Because of these mix-ups, reading can be a very difficult and slow process. And problems include difficulties with spellings, reading the word aloud and also pronouncing the word aloud while reading, sounding the word in the mind and also spelling them and then writing them down. All these are difficult for children who have dyslexia. And this condition arises because of certain differences in parts of the brain that are responsible for language development. Imaging scans of people with dyslexia show that the parts of the brain which are active when a person reads don't work properly. What are the causes of dyslexia? The causes of dyslexia are believed to be both genetic and environmental. Usually, dyslexia is found in children who have ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and it also sometimes occur along with difficulty with mathematics. In adults, it may be the result of a brain injury. What are the signs and symptoms of dyslexia? Delayed early language development, problem recognizing the similarities and differences between similar sounds and also segmenting the words, difficulty copying from a notebook or a blackboard, difficulty in learning, reading, spelling and writing. A child who is dyslexic may not be able to remember content even if it is from one's favorite video or storybook. And problems with spatial relationships can extend beyond the classroom and it can be observed on the playground. Difficulties with left and right is quite common and dominance of either hand is often not established. Dyslexia does not affect learning alone, it also affects other life skills and activities. These include social interaction, memory, and dealing with stress. Let us now debunk a few myths about dyslexia. Myth number 1. Dyslexia stems from low vision. We hear people say that children with dyslexia see letters and words out of order. This is, however, not because of vision problems. Dyslexia is a brain-based learning disability and not the result of vision problems. Reading and writing backwards is the main sign of dyslexia. This is the second myth. Some children with dyslexia write backwards and read backwards while some children don't. So, reversal of letters is not necessarily the sign of dyslexia. In fact, it is quite common to see young children reverse letters. It is not unusual to see young children confuse B and D and write P instead of Q. However, if a child continues to do so even after 2 years of writing instruction, then it may require the attention for evaluation. Myth 3. Dyslexia disappears when a child learns to read. This is not true. While many people who are dyslexic can become fluent and skilled readers, there is no cure for it. People can be successful not only in learning but also in their lives if they are given early intervention and proper science-based instruction. Myth number 4. Children with dyslexia need to try harder to read. This is not true. Research shows that the brain functions differently in children with dyslexia. It also shows that reading can actually change the brain over time. However, hard work has nothing to do with it. It is the type of instruction that makes the difference and not how hard children try. Multisensory approach to instruction, which uses sight, sound and touch as pathways to learning, can be very helpful. Myth number 5. Dyslexia is a rare condition. This is not true. Given the prevalence of dyslexia, one might think, if he or she is not affected by dyslexia, or if dyslexia has not impacted the life of his or her family members, one might actually dismiss the prevalence of dyslexia. However, it has been estimated that 70 to 80% of the reading difficulties found in individuals is due to dyslexia, which may range from mild to severe. Myth number 6. Dyslexia is caused by not reading enough at home. This is not true. Reading at home and exposure to reading is good for all children. However, lack of exposure is not the cause of dyslexia. It is rather a neurological condition. Myth number 7. Dyslexia affects children who speak English only. This is not true. Dyslexia affects a child who speaks any language. Researchers have shown that the neuroscience behind dyslexia is the same regardless of the child's native language. And the myth number 8. Boys are more likely to be affected by dyslexia than girls. This was something which was previously believed, but now research shows that there are as many dyslexic girls as boys. Boys are noticed more, and this is due to their rambunctious behavior when they are not able to do something, and girls who are dyslexic on the other hand tend to be passive and they are overlooked. Therefore, there is a gender bias in identification. Thank you.